Bryce Harper is not happy. And he's gone. And the Nats have one man left on the bench other than Wilson Ramos, and that's Dan Uggla. So an infielder's probably going to have to go into the outfield and play. And Bryce gets tossed.
Did you see Espinosa go down the tunnel with Bryce Harper? Now Uggla going down there so he doesn't do anything silly and hurt himself. That's what you see veteran players do. They might be going to look at the pitch too on the video. Maybe that's what they're going to look at. But if I'm being 100% honest, that can't happen in the 11th inning when you're short on your bench. And he had a legitimate gripe. That ball was outside.
Yeah, as usual, Bryce is right about the pitch. But you got to stay in the game.
But he hasn't liked the calls all night long from Jerry Meals.
The Texas, they picked up Tommy Hunter and Chris Davis. That high fastball is a great pitch for Grilli. He gets another strikeout.
And the frustration from Chris Davis shows you how strong he is as he breaks his bat over his knee. Watch this high fastball from Grilli, goes upstairs to get him, and Chris says, I don't like this bat.
Folks, you have no idea how hard that is. That is a big man upset. He's 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, and he snapped that bat like a toothpick. And he'll take the walk. Comes with one. Wow. Bill Miller with a delayed call. Looked like he was off the plate. Laurie was headed to first.
Yeah, it fooled all of us. Watch where this ball ends up. It looked like a fastball away. Set down to first base, and it's going to be called back. This one will really show if it got any of the plate. Nope.
And now he calls him out. And Laurie threw him out, and then the helmet, and that's going to cost Brett Laurie. And now they've got to get Laurie and get him back in the dugout.
Change up. It looked high and possibly outside. Brett Laurie can't believe it. Then he gets thrown out. That's the one that might cost him right there. Throwing the helmet and bouncing it off the umpire. Watch if it is it high, and it looks like it's too high.
Looked like it was high and outside. And that's going to cost Brett Laurie. He threw his equipment. And there goes John Farrell, and he wasn't going to leave till he got tossed. 2 outs, Colby Erasmus. Bouncing ball, Pena backs up on it, Rodney's at first, and the game is over. And now, unfortunately, the fans have become involved, and that should never be the case.
No.
And here the umpires are headed for their locker room, and then somebody threw something from the stands. You can see Bill Miller pointed who it was, and I'm sure that person will be handled appropriate.
The barrel of the bat comes back at Roger Clemens, and he fires the bat back toward Piazza, who is going down the first baseline. That is all Roger Clemens there. A moment started by, created by Clemens. And thankfully not much more on the field than these two benches emptying, and the players now in a mode of standing around and trying to sort out what just happened. That was surprising.
Joe, there were a lot of people who defended Roger Clemens when he hit Mike Piazza in the head. I was one of them. In my view right now, Roger Clemens is dead wrong. You can't take up the better part of the bat, the fat part of the bat, and fire it into foul territory near Piazza. Obviously, Piazza didn't mean to do that. My gosh, that's a blatant act. Foolish. foolish. Man, that is, I'll tell you, that is a blatant act right there. Piazza has every right to be upset. Wow.
So Roger Clemens, in essence, throws a jagged, a pointed, sharp piece of wood that ends up, what, 2 feet away from Mike Piazza?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Piazza was looking toward Clemens when the bat was thrown over into foul territory. Had Mike had his...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's gone.
I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, he's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And
He's steaming mad.
he is out and having to be forcibly restrained.
Seager takes down and in. 1 for 2 now with a double and a fly ball to right. Double for Seager, his 33rd. He's stranded in scoring position in that first inning. Now Seager gets hit by a pitch, and Weaver gets tossed. Brian Honora has just ejected Jared Weaver.
Well, after calling timeout and emphatically keep putting his hand up to call timeout, Weaver threw up and in on him and hit him.
He does it all the time. He's in the batter's box and still has the hand up for time. To me, once you're in the batter's box, it's go time. And Weaver got tired of waiting. They exchanged words, but Honora immediately ejecting Weaver.
It's a pretty quick ejection.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's almost as if Weaver had no choice but to throw something inside when you see him doing that, and you keep looking at him with his hand up.
Not only that, yell something at him as well.
Yes.
The Angels will have to go to their bullpen now. That's something that you don't want to go through as we go back and take a look at this. You see, Honora's got time. Seager's got time.
Yeah, I mean, and he's saying something there also.
Supposed to be a fastball. It ended up being a slider. No one could catch it.
Here's the 3-2. Check swing, and it's in there for a strike 3. Wow. 2 down. Big Poppy strikes out.
Well, is this on a swing or is this a called strike? That better be on a swing, because that pitch is too low.
It is not on a swing. That is a called.
That's terrible right
strike.
there. That is terrible.
And here comes Ortiz. And I believe David has been tossed out. Boy, I have rarely seen him anywhere near that angry. Now, let's be honest, Copa's had a horrible night back there. And both teams would say that. His plate has been, well, who knows? Who knows where it's been, but Ortiz livid with him. His night is over. John Farrell has been thrown out as well. And how about this drama at the very end?
Well, John Farrell back on the field too. I mean, I'm not after you get thrown out. I don't know how long you can hang around. Here's a replay of Big Poppy coming back out there.
Off the end of the bat. Arroyo. The ball gets loose. It's down the right field line. Jeter coming all the way around. It's a one-run game. And now we're going to have an argument as Francona comes out of the dugout.
He swatted the ball out of Arroyo's head.
If it's in the process of running to first base, that's one thing. If he intentionally swatted it with one hand or one arm or the other.
Saw A-Rod swipe it out of the glove of Arroyo.
I think he's out.
He should be out.
Yeah. Because that is clearly, as Arroyo puts the ball in the glove, the left arm came down. No.
And they're going to call him out.
He's out.
They got the call right again, and they're going to bring Jeter all the way back to first base. And this umpire crew, as this fan base for the Yankees throwing baseballs onto the field, this umpiring crew, this place is dangerous now. They're going to have to call the players off the field. Everybody's going to have to leave the field. Terry Francona is saying, I want to get my guys off the field. Alex Rodriguez is trying to plead his case, but he clearly knocked the ball out of the glove of Arroyo. Take a run off the board, put Jeter back at first, 2 out in the inning with Sheffield coming up. You could see the body of Minkiewicz blocked the first base umpire, Randy Marsh. So to take Randy Marsh, the crew chief, off the hook on the call, he couldn't see it. But it was Marsh who then made the call, and Rodriguez is called out.
Now Torrey's going to get in his face.
And
Torrey's going to be ejected. Yep.
You can't for any length of time disagree. And now Paul Molitor is ejected.
Well, Paul coming out, and I'm surprised that he doesn't push Torrey Hunter away and take over.
There's some frustration, and now Molitor is trying to restrain Torrey.
Right.
Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, coming in. And Torrey very frustrated. We saw his frustration in his last at bat, now throwing batting gloves. We saw Torrey's frustration in his final at bat last night, and he's not done yet. Throwing his bat down in foul territory in his final at bat. And the Twins will need a new right fielder for the 9th inning. And
well, that's you know, Torrey's been thrown out of games before. That has to be something that this is the first time Paul Molitor has been thrown out of a game. So this is something
as a manager, yes.
Right. Well, take a look at the pitch. It's a fastball away off the plate.
And we believe in fox tracks, and there have been quite a few pitches like that have been off the plate away that have been called strikes, not just in that at bat.
So we knew that Blazier threw somebody out. He pointed in the dugout and threw somebody out, and it turned out that it was Bonds. Bonds did the thumb and forefinger